Hey guys, Electric Adventures here. I finally cleaned the Lair up a little bit. Got some cheap flat pack furniture just to get it a little bit organised and getting some of it together. This is the overall shot of the area. I'll zoom into it a little bit. Of course, shared with the child play area in the corner there. So I'll just do a general pan around. Okay, still some tidying up to do. We'll start at the top here. We've got a few boxes. As I'm gradually getting things out of storage, I'm finding more and more of these. I was a general box keeper in my day. I don't think I've got the box for everything, but I've got a box for quite a few things. So you can see the Xbox pack up there, Sega Master System 2, which is the one I got recently, my PSP, PS2 Slim and original PS2 Fat, my Dingo handheld, and one of the cases I've had for my PSP. Right, moving down. This is my Sega Genesis collection so far. So a few titles. I have just an option with some Sega Genesis titles. So I'll hopefully be adding to those. I do like my Sega Genesis titles. And yeah, there are a few sports games there, but I got them for $1 or $2 each. So I don't necessarily intend to play them, although I might play the ice hockey one. Okay, next shelf we have our PS2 section. I have a few PS2 titles, and this actually isn't all of them. The PS2 Fat is actually inside the house, and most of the Lego games and a few child-oriented ones like Dora and The Simpsons and things like that are used by one of the children. So this is the rest of my collection here. I mean, you can see the box to the Monster Rumble the kids use up there. And then our next shelf is my slowly growing Sega Master System collection. Now I have a few boxed. Not all of the boxed are in fabulous condition. There are, I'm gradually swapping them out as I get more lots. I have quite a few loosed. I mean, quite a large amount of this Master System collection came in one lot, and they're obviously an ex-rental lot. So the cases have got numbers and stickers, and I haven't had a chance to clean everything up. I did use the cover project to fix the case for this one, so that's a downloaded and printed cover. Not too bad, it'll do until I get a replacement. So it's better than the hand-drawn one that was there before. But I do have a couple of games that are pretty close to mint, like R-Type, and the one I showed recently, Xenon 2. Do like my shoot-em-ups. Now next we come down to my Atari 2600 cartridges. I've actually built up quite a number of those now. There are a couple of duplicates there, but I'm not really sure what to do with the the different series of some of the carts and which ones to keep. I mean, all these work. I've actually tested a lot of them, but I'll wait and see with that. Now we have my Amiga Coleco collection. Now we'll say these last three along here are temperamental workers, like the Spectre Video Supercross Force is extremely rare, but I can't get it to work reliably. The Space Fury works the most out of the three, but as you can see it's got a lot of bubbling and things like that, so I'd say this one's been wet and it's got a fair bit of corrosion. So I need to do some more. I mean, maybe even the tracks are damaged in the cartridge. And I'm hiding back there on my 3-inch television cartridges. I'm just moving those out of the way so you can see. That's my pardon me, 7800. I'm sure that's focusing well for you. 7800 cartridges. I do have a couple of boxed ones as well. Okay, so now we have an Coleco Game Avalanche. Now down on the bottom shelf I have my Atari 2600 and my two Atari 7800 box games. Then we have a little MSX corner, so quite a few tape games. There's two boxed cartridge games, Salamander and King Kong 2, and Bank Street Rider, that's completed in box. That's actually a spare, it's available for swap. I have Nemesis, and then I have these other Japanese cards. Now they need cleaning. I don't know exactly what some of them are. If anybody can, because unfortunately my Japanese MSX is not working. There's a blown power supply. So I haven't tried cleaning the contacts in these. I actually had forgotten all about these. I got them in a cheap auction ages ago, put them aside to have a proper look at them, and haven't gotten back to them. So if anybody can help me out identifying some of those, that would be great. Now quite a few of them are labelled MSX2. I do have an MSX2. Okay, now moving along, we have my two SNES cartridges, my PlayStation 1 games. That's a spare cover for Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. That's a Star Wars Episode 1 Racer complete, all of the cartridges from this one, and it did have a sticker on the sticker, so it still has a little bit of damage. That's a complete Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. That's a box only of those two, because they're from the ones that got stolen from me originally. And I have a few loose cartridges as well, nowhere near as many as we had before somebody helped themselves a few years ago. So this is my NES collection, which we've been looking at my videos I started recently, and I'm quite enjoying the NES games. So we've got a few titles there, and a few boxed, amazingly. And the one hiding on the corner is my one Amstrad CPC title that I picked up the other day. Now we have my old original Game Boy Color there, a few loose carts, which I'll probably move to some of these boxes down the bottom here. So Perfect Dark WrestleMania, Formula 1 Grand Prix, Light Magnifier, my one remaining Game & Watch, mainly because I can't find my Donkey Kong Jr. And this isn't one of my original ones, this is just one that I bought at a market, and it's in really poor condition, but it does actually still amazingly work. Now coming down the bottom, now in front we have my PSP collection, and behind is a large number of Nintendo DS titles, but they're pretty much all from my girls. I do have a couple of Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color games. No, they're both, yeah, one Game Boy Advance, one Game Boy Color game boxed. Got more loose ones elsewhere. I haven't tidied them up yet. I've got a section here where I'm going to put all of the Game Boy things, so I've got a box for the Game Boy and a box. Alright, this is my Game Gear games, loose. So I've picked up quite a few of those now. Unfortunately my Game Gear is not in working order. I have to be patient and try and pick up one of those. It's an empty box. I'm going to put more loose cartridges of the small games in there. We have my boxed Atari Lynx games. Now the ones that I actually have and I've found are Toki, Robotron and Ishido, so I'm still missing the actual cartridges for Checkered Flag and Gauntlet, but I haven't looked everywhere yet. We have the two Game Gear games I picked up recently, boxed for very little money. We have an Atari ST section there, so a couple of software development titles and a couple of games. And then up on this shelf we have my GameCube and normal Xbox titles, and the Atari Lynx Mark II sitting there. And I've got the Halo collectors there. Okay, the Super Nintendo's up on top there, and everything is all wired in now. I mean, I actually am short one Nintendo AV cable, but it's very easy to swap between the GameCube and the Super Nintendo because the cable's identical. Just a little stereo. Then we have the PS1 and a couple of wireless controllers that work in the PS1 and PS2. Down here we have the Sega Master System. Won't fit in this little cabinet. I am going to switch this cabinet for a much larger one when all the consoles will be able to be behind glass and spread out on their own shelves. Now, underneath here we have Nintendo 64 and the Nintendo. Hiding in there we have the PS2 Slim, and then a modded Xbox One, the ColecoVision, and the Atari 7800. So everything is all plugged in, ready to go. Share an RF between two of those, and I've got a splitter, so 3 things with RF. And the Mega Drive Model 1 there, joystick, and Thunder Force 4, which is still beating me up. And down here, this is actually why I like this TV, it's actually got 3 AV inputs. So at the moment I've got the PS2 going directly to 1, and I've got 2 switches going into the other 2. So everything is all plugged in and wired up. Really needs labouring. But I mean, I do play a couple of consoles the most. So, and over here we have 3 bins. So I've got the larger stuff in here. So we've got an Xbox steering controller, the Coleco Atari add-on, my trackball, the driver controller for the Coleco, a very full section of controllers in there where you've got the guns and all the various controllers of the system. And in here we have, I mean, this is still to be sorted out, is overflow, more controllers and guns. I've got guns for several of the systems now. Hiding down here we have original 6-switch Atari Woody and the Atari XE machine. Those ones aren't wired in at the moment, need to work that out. And over here on the shelf where everything was before, we still have the Atari XE boxed and Atari XE loose cartridges, and of course the thing that the collection was hiding before, which is my collection of science fiction and fantasy books. So I have an almost complete Asimov, Philip K. Dick, all bar a couple of books, most of Robert Heinlein, quite a few Harry Harrisons there, like a pulp science fiction Perry Rhodan, I've got quite a few of those, and I have more science fiction books inside as well. And there's magazines and things down there. This is the TI-99 4A stuff that I've videoed before. This sorting area, so don't make anybody sick. There's a little dog wanting to go out, which I shall do. Now over here I've cleaned up a little bit, and in here we have, so it's an old book, we have all of my Amiga books, programming books, Amiga discs, and also Atari ST discs, and Atari ST programming manuals. And up here we have all of my programming material for the Z80 and MSX machines, and some ones for the iPhone as well. Moving over here, the area yet to be cleaned up, but they are set up. So we've got the Spectra Video 328 with its expansion bus, which is not quite working. The tape drive, spare Amiga mouse there, which works sort of. I've got ordered another one to come and replace that. Spectra Video original titles, so there are more Spectra Video titles there. I'm going to do a video demoing most of those shortly, along with the actual graphics tablet, because I found the tape, which is awesome. And here we have an original Commodore Amiga monitor, with my MSX MS8250 machine. We've kitted out with a fair bit of RAM, clock doubling and 2 drives. At the back is the Amiga 1000, which works, and at the front here is my Amiga 500. It's had a mini bath. It still needs individual keys cleaning a bit more. I have an Atari ST as well, but I have no room to set it up at the moment with monitor and external drive. Yeah, we'll be gradually, I'll probably focus over the next week or so on getting the spec video titles demoed and videos made, because I'm sure a lot of people won't have seen a lot of those, and then I'm going to start on having a look at some of the MSX titles as well. Okay, thank you very much.